Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Today would be episode 150, and not only is this a significant number, I would say, but this would also mark the end of Volume 2, so it's kind of curious, I would say, a nice coincidence, if you will, that our first 150 episodes were used on checking Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the epic. So the first thing we're gonna do to continue with the epilogues, we're gonna muster in the Misty Mountains. We'll need to find an orc or goblin in the Misty Mountains. Okay, so the place to where we are porting will get us really close to some of the goblin encampments in here, really close to Goblin Town. So what we can do is just take a quick ride, defeat a goblin, come back here, and we'll take a ride to Rivendell. And I much rather take the ride instead of mastering because I need to take another ride in Rivendell too. For the Greyhammers, you cry as you defeat your foe. We didn't need to go that far to find it, that's good. A Matham! We still need some reputation with the Matham Society, so sure, I'll take that. Even if it's not much. Now, greetings. Rivendell.
What can I do for you?
You are looking for goblins or orcs in the troll shows? Well, I'll tell you this. You'd be out of luck if it were a week or so ago. Most of their kind is holed up in the mountains or down deep in Forgotten Caves. A small party of goblins crossed the last bridge out of the Lone Lands a few days ago and caused some trouble for one of me wagons. You might still find him if you go now. These goblins were in the South Troll shows just southwest of the cave-claw-infested ruins of Ost Durgon. Defeat one for me if your travels take you there. Yeah, but first I will go to Eregion actually. Let me pull up the map of Eregion because... Where can you find the orcs? Doesn't show. Wing raids? I don't think so. God, stop. My mouse wheel is acting weird today. I have the region. Maybe defeating half orcs would count? Otherwise, where are the orcs? Well, let us go to Ehad the region.
What do you need?
And look from there. Swift travel to Ehad the region. So let us see if we can find... I hope the half orcs count, otherwise I don't know where to go. Jesus, it's been so long since we've been to Eregion that I don't remember where the orcs were. Do you count? Yeah, do you count? Oh, you do count, awesome. For the Greyhammers, you cry as you defeat your foe. Oh, cool that you count. Oh, thank you so much. Now we go back to Ehad Region, take the ride to Rivendell, and from Rivendell we go to the troll shows. Oh, that's so cool.
How can I be of service?
So yeah, let us go to Rivendell. Okay, and now here in the troll shows. Let us go to Thorin Hat. God, we need to take so many different routes for this. Really nice outfits.
What can I do for you?
Barhin's camp is where we're headed. Now come now, girlie. We'll need to find some of those goblins, which are not far. How far are we again? 800 meters. No biggie. Afterwards, where do we need to go? Maybe Lonelands, Brayland, and Blue Mountains, possibly? Don't remember, but we are making our way east, so it makes sense that that's to happen. We'll find out soon enough. We just need to defeat this guy. For the Greyhammers, you cry as you defeat your foe. And now we need to go Lonelands, Brayland, and North Downs, actually. Okay. So, Lonelands, mastering Lostgurth. Okay, so orcs shouldn't be that hard to find in here. Okay, here we have one. For the Greyhammers, you cry as you defeat your foe. Good. Now... yeah, now let us take a ride to Bree. I know, not necessary to take a ride. Let us return to Bree. So yeah, this skill does have its uses. Not as much as the other masters, because, well, I think the other masters are slightly better, but, well, not slightly better, really better, because they don't have cooldowns, but still, you might still find uses for that skill every now and then. Now that we're in Brayland, though, we've had this quest on our quest log and on our backs for the longest time. So you might remember after we helped the Shade in the Barrow Downs and brought the ring to his brother that said that Shade to rest in peace, the mayor sent us a note of thanks, and he wants to talk to us in the Braid Town Hall. But yeah, let us do that. I knew at some point we would return to Brayland so that we could get this quest done. That's why I was not hurrying it. Although that backspace was bugging me out a little bit, but well, we are already here. Where is the mayor? Upstairs, maybe? Hear ye, hear ye. Beriathan has driven the evil ghosts from our allies.
Greetings.
I had thought the reports of the hunting were drunken ramblings. Imagine my surprise when I was approached by the gate watchers at the south gate. They told me it was you, Beriathan, that quelled the spirit once wandering the alleys of Bree. For that, I am in your debt, as is this town. Please accept this as payment for your deeds, which until now had gone unnoticed. Well, I will accept that. The reputation too. And with that done, let me be on my way. Gotta find orcs on Breland. Well, half orcs count. We have seen that, so maybe I can go to the Vales of Andrath and defeat some of the half orcs there. But there are also orcs towards the north, on the way to the Northdowns. So let us go on and look for those orcs. Okay, lightning is acting weird. Let us go and look for those orcs. Well, now that we're here, let us pick the VIP rewards.
Could you help me with something?
Oh, no. I always forget it's a two-step quest. So, yeah, you still need to complete it to actually get the items. I just want to check some cool outfits. It saddens me a little bit that there are so many anonymous players nowadays. Because that was not the case a few years ago. A few years ago, being anonymous was the weird thing to do. But now it's really common. I'm not entirely sure why, but I think that... well, that's players who want to avoid requests from low-level players. I have received some of them every now and then. Total strangers at low level that are struggling, and it seems they will look for high-level players with the social option in here and ask for help. And that has happened to me only 2 or 3 times. Sometimes I have agreed to help if I have the time, sometimes I don't. But I understand if players go anonymous for that reason.
Could I speak with you?
I would have sworn I had already done all these quests.
By Durin's beard, won't you give me...
Well, at least some of them. But now that I think of it, yeah, there were some quests in Breland that I did not do. At that time, I really wanted to get moving and go to the Lonelands, so... I remember now. Oh yeah, once again, I think it's better... Well, I don't have an issue getting requests from low levels, and I would enjoy if I could find... If I would be able to inspect some players which have really cool outfits, that really gives me idea for my own as well. But maybe that's another reason why people go anonymous. To be honest, I'm not sure why even people go anonymous within the game. So if you know the reason, yeah, please let me know in the comments, because I'm just assuming many different things at this point, and I'm not sure I am remotely right. But yeah, that will help me understand a little bit more. Anyway, we continue our right north. Yeah, there's got to be orcs close nearby. And then we'll look for the orcs in the north downs. And afterwards, I don't know, but I hope it'll come to just turn in the quest in Ered Luin. But I don't think it's that simple. Back in the day, that was the quest that I disliked the most, because yeah, you have to take a lot of different travels to do it. Today, I'm not finding it that annoying. But it does take a time. For the Greyhammers, you cry as you defeat your foe. Okay, the north down, so for that we will master in Esteldin. You know, I don't think we have enough time today to complete the Orc Slayer Advanced Deed in Brilliant, even though we are breezing through it right now and one-shotting everything, but no. I'd much rather just complete the epilogues. So there's got to be orcs in here somewhere. I don't want to go to Amundine and this eastern area. There are a lot of orcs in there, but well, I much rather find the orcs in here, and I think there are orcs in the nearby farms. I'm not too worried about it. If not, there are orcs here in Meluinen as well. You might remember that from the epic. There are also orcs in Fornost, in Nan Rathren. Well, there are orcs everywhere in the Northdowns, really. Just gotta find one. Just one. Okay, I got Sun's Farm. Alright, I never been here, it seems.
Will you let me speak my piece? Would you do something for me?
Alright, but thankfully these guys have let us know that there are indeed orcs in here. For the Greyhammers, you cry as you defeat your foe. Now, Evendim, Forohel and Angmar. Oh my god, are you serious? How many more orcs do we need to defeat? God! Okay. We're gonna take the port to Esteldin once again and travel to Angmar first. Jesus, that's a lot. Okay. So, here. Got fort near, let us go. Evendim, Forohel and Angmar. I think that's the entirety of the original Shadows of Angmar regions. So yeah, I hope afterwards we will be sent to Eretluin. Can't be much longer in any case. Let us dismounting here, no need to go all the way up that slope. Orcs in Angmar. Would there be orcs in this town? Don't remember, and I can't see that far. I think I should have rode all the way to the stable in Gatwornir and swift traveled somewhere else. Because yeah, I think the orcs are actually located to the south. Worst case scenario on Barad Gularan, but still. Now let us go to Barad Gularan. I think it's the safest bet at this point. No injury, awesome. What is that? Tower hands? Why are there so many Tower hands there? Alright, now that we're headed back to Barad Gularan, you know what? I think there was a quest in here. An escort quest that we failed because we were overwhelmed by goblins. So what do you say we do that as well? That would be fun, getting some sort of revenge. Not exactly revenge, but a second round against the goblins. It's just that I don't remember where was it exactly. There was a girl in here. But it was not the orc infested, well, the orc portion of Barad Gularan. It was the goblin one. For the Greyhammers, you cry as you defeat your foe. War dispatch. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. I don't remember what was it. I changed your plans. Bad luck to you, girl. You will stay captive for a little bit longer. Let us go to Forohel. So where are the orcs in Forohel? Let me see if I remember this right. Where are the orcs in Forohel? Ah, okay, yeah. Close to Kalpakota. Problem is, I don't think there is a swift travel to Kalpakota.
The winter wind speaks your name.
Your lady is Sigileth. Intipeldat. Oh my god. Let us take the swift travel to Vendin then. Yeah, the Greyhammers will be in a great depth after this is done.
What do you need?
Kalpakota, where is it? I know. We need to go to Ostfort. And from Ostfort we can travel to Kalpakota. God. This is far more complex than it needs to be. But now that we are in here, Andalat, Ornin, one of these ruins had goblins in it. And I hope it's Tamandalat. Oh, my bad. Let me reactivate Forced March again. Yeah, it's gotta be Tamandalat. That doesn't look like a brigand camp. For the Greyhammers! You cry as you defeat your foe. Thankfully it was not that far away from Ostfort, so that we can take a swift travel to Kalpakota. And afterwards, please let me go back to the Dwarfs. I think the Orcs get the message by now. I hope.
What can I do for you?
Kalpakota. Travel 4. Okay, here we are. So now the orcs. I don't remember exactly if there are orcs or goblins in here and how many. But let us follow the quest tracker. Okay, here we have them. For the Greyhammers, you cry as you defeat your foe, the Shire and Eret Luin. So what is the quickest way to the Shire? We're gonna go to Evendim once again. Yeah, I have a plan now. Well, close to a plan.
How can I
So
be?
we're gonna go to Dwelling. I don't think Dwelling will count towards Shire. Not exactly Shire as far as the game is concerned, at least. But from Dwelling we can go easily into the Shire, and on Bullroarer Sword we'll find the goblins. That'll be good.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Odbarton, awesome, yeah, let us go there. I'm from Odbarton, let us go south, but you know, now that we're here, near the farms, give me just 1 minute because there is something else we can get in here. Yeah, the mysterious relic. In the center of the field stands an evil-looking relic, clearly not of hobbit make. You stare warily at the relic, but it divulges none of its secrets. You feel bigly ill, an unhealthy aura seems to emanate from the relic.
Can't a body be left alone?
Do you know what this horrible thing is? If you know anything about it, you need to tell me at once. I will not stand for this sort of thing, I tell you. We are honest, respectable folk, and do not deserve to have such awful things placed in our backyards without our knowledge or consent. I mean, honestly, have you ever seen such a thing? Well, no, not me. Completed Mysterious Relic in the Shire, and we have a new deed! Life of a Bounder. Alright. So we need to complete quests in the Shire that I still have not done. I have the Explorer deed from the Barrow Bree episode. Not on Citadel Guard Adventures, but maybe you watched that one. Anyway, we have the first quest in the Shire, but that also means I'm missing the relic in the Troll Shaws and the relic in Enedwaite. But we haven't been to Enedwaite yet, so that's okay. I think I'll need to check where that relic in the Troll Shaws is located. We still have a few visits to the Troll Shaws left before we start our journey south. And, well, gotta take that chance. For the Greyhammers, you cry as you defeat your foe. And we also have a new deed, Goblin Slayer in the Shire. Now there is one really quick thing that I would like to do now that I am here in the Shire, and it's this one. Something that it's really bugging me out. The only Civil Master that I'm missing is in the Shire is this one in Needlehole. And I'm also missing the Civil Master in Angmar, Yorelen's camp, for the Rift. I have not been to the Rift yet, But I think those are the only 2 stable masters that I have missed on the areas that I have visited so far. So soon there will be only 1 missing stable master, because I'm headed towards Needlehole. Needlehole is right at the entrance to Eret Luins, and we still need to go there anyway. So we'll find a goblin on our way to another stable master that we can use to take a quick ride to Thorin's Hole. A peaceful and beautiful night in the Shire. Perfect for riding through the forest. I don't think we'll find any adventuring hobbits in here. I think all the adventuring hobbits are already outside of the Shire. Here we are, the Rashok Bog. Okay, so that was not as long as I expected the ride to be. Here in the Rashok Bog, you will find, well, there are some Darhands, as you can see, but this is the only place in the Shire in which you can find slugs. And there is a slug slayer deed, which is a pain to do. It's not hard because it's 30 for the tier 1 and 60 for the tier 2, but there are not enough slugs in this bog. And they take a long time to respawn, so yeah, you need to be patient for that one. I mean, I don't think a lot of people actually come through here and take the road to Erdluin. Most of them would just take the swift travel to Kellendim or to Thorin's Hole. So yeah, let me show you this as well. This is the town of Needlehole. Some sort of hybrid architecture, a mix of Hobbit and Dwarven architecture, and people as well.
How do you do?
Here we have the Stable Master. And this is the road to Eret Luin. You'll need to go through a loading screen. Both regions are not connected. There is a gap between both that has still not been filled, but hopefully one day when we get the Grey Havens. Can you imagine being on the Grey Havens saying goodbye to Frodo, Gandalf, Bilbo, Elrond? The Rashok Gate. But yeah, coming to the Grey Havens, it's something that a lot of players have been anticipating for the longest time too.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
Join the Founders? Not today. Thanks. Alright, so we're gonna come through this area where we can find some goblins. And then we'll take a ride to Kellendim. I believe it's faster that way. Almost there, almost there. For the Greyhammers! You cry as you defeat your foe, and we have a new deed as well, Goblin Slayer, in Edit Luin. Now, we just need to go to Thorin's Hall, thank God. So, we're gonna take a quick ride to Kelondin, and a swift travel to Thorin's Hall and be done with this quest. So I think this quest actually flows better if you do it at the same time as Book 1 of Volume 3. You will visit many of these places as well when you go to when you do Book 1 of Volume 3, and you will fight some orcs in the process as well. But since we are actually finishing the entirety of Volume 2 before starting Volume 3, that's why we're doing it that way. However, if you don't mind this kind of overlapsing, I would very much recommend you doing this epilogue of the Greyhammers after you have started Volume 3. I think it will be much more easier if you do it that way.
What do you need?
Let's go to Thorin's Gate. Okay, we'll dismount here, we'll need the entire ride. Let us ride again. Okay. So where is exactly Tandri Greyhammer? I don't know. Please let it be a guy that's not hard to find, because there is no way of knowing where you can find Tandri Greyhammer. Navis Woodworker? What kind of quest do you have for me? The Homestead, no thank you. I have no idea where this guy is supposed to be. Oh god! Ah, there he is. God.
What in the name of all the dwarves has my son had you do?
Traveling to all the regions in which a Greyhammer has been wronged and slaying a single orc in each? I cannot believe you humored him thus, Beriathan. Does a warden such as you have nothing more pressing to do than this? If my son Luth and his brother spent less time drumming up ways to tell folk of their grievances with the orcs, and more time mining and working, perhaps we would have found some precious gemstones by now. Take this for your effort, Beriathan. I will speak to Luth myself. It is high time he began doing something productive with the time he currently spends complaining to strangers about his lot in life. Well, at least you see this was not the best of ideas. So thank you for your sympathy. Now we only need to go to Caras Galadhon. Achardor's Fate, Sigileth's Knife. And that'll be it. God, we spent a lot of time hunting goblins on today's episode, didn't we? I didn't expect it to take so long, really. Now, we are really close to Talang Núrelleth. And I think the stairs we're looking for are these ones. So we'll tell Núrelleth what happened with Achardor.
I know already why you have come.
Lady Galadriel visited me several days ago at nightfall to bring me the sad tidings that Achardor would not return from Mirkwood. I think I already knew it, Beriathan, even before the lady came to see me. I cannot explain it. If you have unanswered questions, please pay a visit to Lady Galadriel. You will find her at the House of Celeborn here in Caras Galadhon. I will surely do that. I need to talk to Celeborn as well, so... But yeah, let us do just that. Okay. How do we go up from here? Well, I'm sure the elves will excuse me for not taking the stairs. I just need to talk to Galadriel and Celeborn, so... I'll take a quick jump in here. Galadriel and Celeborn, okay.
I know what it is you wish to ask.
You have come to ask me of something about Achardor's fate, Beriathan. I know what it is, you will ask. Galadriel turns to face you, and you see that her face is a mask of sorrow. Achardor begged leave of Celeborn to accompany the Hidden Guard on its mission to Dol Guldur, and my husband denied his petition. Only at my word did Celeborn relent, and Achardor was permitted to begin the errand that would end with his death. You know that my mirror shows many things. Can I have known where this road might lead Achardor? I did know, and it is with such knowledge that I spoke on his behalf. Do you think me cruel? Would it have been crueler still to prevent Achardor from seeking his vengeance? It may have been, or may not have been. I am not to be the judge of it, and do not wish to make excuses. I wanted to explain, and I thank you for listening, Beriathan. The waters of my mirror are changeable and changing, and many things can be seen or not seen.
It saddens me to know that Sigileth will not return to this land she loved.
It saddens me to know that Sigileth of the Hidden Guard will not return to this land she loved. She knew the dangers she faced and wrote the tale of her victories on the heights of Orcs with her beloved knights. Celeborn sighs and carefully studies Lankigil and Ignazigil. It was the desire of Sigileth to give me these knives, and I do not wish to gainsay that desire, but so too does it grieve me that they will no longer strike fear into the hearts of her foes, remaining as they would within Caras Galadhon. I propose then a compromise. I will retain one of the knives, and its brother I give to you to do with as you will. I think I will take Lankigil. Would be really nice knowing what these two names mean, then I maybe would make a different decision, but for now let us go for stats and take Lankigil. Alright, so with this we have finished the epilogues of Volume 2. You will see here we're still missing the Sword Holes and Gorthul, but once again I'm planning on doing that later. However, this is intended to be the last episode so that you can see all that there is to be seen as far as Volume 2 goes before I give you my peace of mind of it. And what can I tell you about Volume 2? Well, it's complicated. For one, I think is the volume that I enjoyed the least of all the epic that LOTRO has done, but I could not tell you why. Because it's great going into Moria. The place is fantastic to look at. There are many awesome quests, and the way in which they created that space and make it feel believable and livable, and it's amazing. Moria is still the favorite expansion of so many players for many of these reasons. But I don't know, it seems like the epic in Moria, at least, spent a lot of time going from one place to the other for you to be able to see it. But the story, there is a story in there, of course, but it takes a lot of time to get going and to really drag you in. Much like what happened on Volume 1, because you only met a Marthiel on Book 9. So the very first half of Volume 1 was just doing different quests and going to different places, but I don't know why I prefer that on Volume 1 to what happens on Volume 2. However, once the epic gets going, it's really good. After you found Sigilberg, after Bori gets captured, things start ramping up really quick. And then, well, coming to Lorien, which is different from what most players believe it is. Different from what we were used to in the game, actually. But it's still a really atmospheric and different place to be in, really peaceful, really beautiful as well. So that's something else too. And then Mirkwood, what can I tell you about Mirkwood? I like the area, but yeah, it's really short. You can do all the quests and epics in Mirkwood in half the time. Basically, it takes you to do Moria and Lorien. And I'm not sure how many players were critical of the length of the expansion, because it's really curious when you think about it, having Moria, which is, I believe, the biggest expansion LOTRO has ever done, right next to Mirkwood, which is the smallest one. So yeah, uneven is the word I would use to describe Volume 2 in terms of a design, of quest flow, of the intensity of the storylines as well. It has really high moments, but the lows are not as interesting as what happened before on Volume 1. However, we have been introduced to many important characters. Galadriel and Celeborn, of course, which are very big parts of Middle-earth. We will meet them again at some point. We met the Dwarfs of the Iron Garrison. I thought it was really interesting how the stories of Bori and Broin paralleled each other. So Broin was taken captive, Bori wanted to rescue him, they rescue him, they find Sigilberg. Then Broin, Bori is captured because of Sigilberg. Broin tries to rescue him, and then they go to rescue him and recover Sigilberg. So it's like a really nice parallel in there that I hadn't seen until I started recording Volume 2. And that creates a really interesting relation between Broin and Bori, something that we will get the chance of seeing more about as we progress and move towards more dwarf-centric storylines in the future. That, however, still hasn't come. Gorothul, I think, it's a great villain, but it's a shame that he didn't get more time to shine and show you what he was really capable of, because something like, for example, the exchange in Dol Guldur where he takes Mazog and offers 3 dwarves, kills one of them when you do not agree to his exchange, and then kills the other 2 anyway because he quote-unquote didn't have the authority to do any of that. He was playing you all along. So Gorothul is really evil, really Machiavellic in a way, and I would have enjoyed seeing much more of him. Like what happened with Amartiel and Mortranbor in Volume 1, that you kept running across them in several different occasions, and every time you do, they found a way to get the upper hand on you. And you always felt like you were one step behind them. And that helped made you hate them and really wish to win over them. And when you did, it felt so satisfying. But here, we didn't even have confronted Goruthul. I mean, you confronted that as part of the epic, but that's an optional content, a side story, if you will. It would have been really nice if the confrontation with Goruthul had been part of the epic as well, like the last chapter of Book 9 or something. So, yeah, that's, I think, totally the way in which I would describe Volume 2. And even the world design is marvelous, as always. And the LOTRO team always does an amazing job with that. The writing was still good, but once again, it had its moments of its ups and downs. The ups were really great, the downs not so much. But, well, there are many things here in Volume 2 that will come into play later. And some of them I have already told you about, directly or indirectly. Some of them we might not even know yet, because as you see, the LOTRO team likes to play the long game, the really long game. The thing that Sigileth told you before going to the battle in the tower, the dream she had, those are the words that Celeborn just told us. Shame about her knives and etc. But there's something more in there that I'm not going to spoil for you if you don't know about it. And that has led me thinking, will something else happen with this? Because Bori and Broin show up again. And it seems something is going to happen with those two, because they are facing the repercussions of all these events. But I cannot help but think, have we really met? Have we really seen the last of Sigilberg? Or at some point will the Mithrlax make a return? Because, well, as of the time of recording this, the latest piece of content released was worth 3 peaks. And I think Dwarves could really use the Mithrlax again, with everything they are facing. So yeah, it gets you wondering how many more of these things we will see come into play later. Because that is gonna happen with what we have seen in Volume 1, that happens with what we have seen in Volume 2, and maybe would still happen. And now we're headed towards Volume 3 and Volume 4, which deal directly with the events of the War of the Ring. I would say Volume 3 is my favorite of them all, and the longest as well. I also enjoy many different aspects of Volume 4, so I'm really excited, really looking forward to what's to come next. And we'll see how many of these elements of Volume 3 and Volume 4 will come into play in future storylines as well. So, what will be the conclusion? It's the LOTRO team. Volume 2 is the LOTRO team doing what they do best, and even when they are not at their best, they still manage to do really good quality content and what they set out to do, be it storytelling, world building, epicness, if you will. Once again, I think this is their lowest, but it still had really great moments. And something that I also told you about when we were visiting Radius Memories is how they are able to create their own stories and weave them with the lore from the books, and that makes the world feel bigger, more believable, and that makes feel the game part of Middle-earth, not just something that somebody else is doing, like many of the other Middle-earth games that exist, in which it seems like somebody just took the source material and did their thing on top of it. No, LOTRO takes the time to do their thing alongside the source material, and they always shine in that. So Volume 2 was a great time. I did enjoy it a lot, much more than I thought I would, especially Mirkwood. Well, Moria too. Well, I enjoyed all of it a lot more than I remembered. So yeah, it was a great piece of content, and now we are getting ready to begin Volume 3. You might have noticed already I made a slight mistake. I should have unequipped the Stone of the Tortoise before talking to Celeborn. Now we are 6,000 XP short of level 65, and we need to be level 65 to receive the email to begin Volume 3. I don't think you do need to actually get the mail to start it. You can just go to the location and pick up the quest, but I do want to receive that email. So what I think we're gonna do next at the start of Volume 3 of Citadel Guard Adventures will be doing 1 or 2 dailies in Lorien to level up and start our journey to the south with the Grey Company. Join me next time. We'll see the story really get ramping up. I'm so excited for what's to come. For the time being, my friends, thank you so much for watching this episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.